So let's hear you.
Okay. Basically, Tinubu's decision, I think I will commend him for his courage to be able to decide what others have been beating around the bush about. First of all, Buhari's government lied and deceived us. They told us they removed subsidy like 4 times. Why they never did. That is why I can commend Tinubu, because Tinubu came all out and said he is taking up subsidy, and openly he did that. I don't know if you remember that when Buhari government came, they said they're taking subsidy. They increased fuel from amount to 100 and something, that they remove subsidy. Then all of a sudden, they were still paying subsidy. The country is very difficult right now for everybody, including the rich. But I think what Tinubu needs to do, yes, what Tinubu needs to do, the same courage he used to remove the subsidy, he should use that same courage to arrest some set of selfish people. Because the problem we have in this country are some set of people milking the country. This price they increased today is this set of people that are benefiting from it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. There are few
100%.
people. They are not up to 1,000 people making this country so difficult. Those same people are the people that finance politicians for their election. You understand? These same people. Now, when he made the dollar same rates, I liked it because there were a set of few people, this same few amount of cabal benefiting from it. Few people. Now, there are some people that have called me several times that if I want to buy dollar there was 700. They say they have CBI rate. They'll sell it for me for 500 or something naira.
Now, we want travel. We know we can't get the dollar. The government was subsidizing dollar for us. So anytime you want to travel, there was a time I missed my flight because I was at Zenith Bank trying to get my, there's a name they call it. It's not Estaco. There's a name they call it. They did not give me my allocation. They did not give me. But I'm sure one chairman somewhere don't collect them.
That's the truth. I always have that window.
PTA, God bless you, John. PTA.
No, okay, talking of PTA. No, not that. I'm not talking of. I'm talking of people who have access to either whatever contact they have in CBN to get dollar. Now, don't forget the BTC people that have license are entitled to $100,000 only. But people have licenses. Normally, it's supposed to be one person per license. But people have like 20 to 100 licenses to be getting $100,000 each from CBN. So when Tinubu said he's making that rate a universal rate,
he killed that business. Now I understand.
He killed it.
So now it's no more government rate again.
Yes, so everybody, all of us, both the rich, the poor, the billionaires.
So I don't know, say you get brain like this. Now music, I think, say you sabi produce.
I'm a businessman. So everybody, they buy the same rate, which was a wise decision. Although it's hasty.
It's hasty. Yeah. That's what I said.
Although it's hasty because everybody will suffer out. It was a good decision. But now, I don't speak for politicians but there are policies that takes time. There are a lot of policies that take a lot of time. You have to feel the pain before it gets better. But because of other politicians, we don't lose hope. Nigerians are not patient again for it to get back, to get better. Because Nigeria, once it get bad, it get worse. Most of these decisions taken now are supposed to get better later. But what I can advise Tinubu without sentiment, without party affiliation, without anything, Tinubu need to stand his ground to arrest some set of Nigerians suffering, all of us. Why we go just wake up further from the so-called amount where they manage and they cry to buy, don't go up to 700 or something. No, people need to answer questions. People need to get arrested. You understand? Do you know that this can lead to anarchy? This can lead to civil unrest. People need to answer questions. How far from a particular amount add 100 or something naira? Who is regularizing the price? There should be a body answerable. There should be people answerable to this. That is my own take. The same stand he took to make the decision, he's supposed to stand that ground to arrest some set of people, because few people they benefit. You see, in business, 1 naira can lead to 1 billion in profit. So these guys don't add 1 naira, they add hundreds of naira. So it goes to hundreds of billions. Because these fuel stuffs are in liters, millions, hundreds of millions of liters. Tinubu need to arrest a lot of people without fear or favor, without sentiment. That is my take. It's not time to blame anybody, but where you guys can blame the president is when he does not take a stand. Peter Obi or Atiku or whatever, if they don't take this thing will happen can happen to anybody. What is happening now can happen to anybody. That is my take, Daddy Freeze.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I'm trying to bring Bongoli. He was here the other time. Bongos.
Yeah, Daddy Freeze.
Bongoli.
Good day,
All
sir.
right, let's hear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, good day, Soso. No problem. Yeah. Good day, Nigerians. Daddy Freeze, maybe we'll do this thing later in the evening. Maybe bring Femi and one other Labour Party somebody, so you see my face very. But what I want to say is that, Daddy Freeze, remember last week or 2 weeks back when I came on your program, I said that the true cost of a liter of gasoline in Nigeria is actually 800 naira. Remember I said it, right?
You said it. You said, now explain to us
yes.
why it is 800 naira.
So you have to look at the cost of a barrel of crude oil in the world market. So the barrel of crude oil, Brent crude, is about $80 today. It's $79 and some cents. So crude oil is priced in dollars. It's not priced in naira. It is an international commodity. And there is a certain template that is used such that the amount in crude oil for a price of crude oil is about 65 to 70%, while the remaining 30% goes into the refining costs, the excise duties and taxes, the transportation and the logistics around, and also the marketers have to make their profit. And remember, $1 is doing about 780, 790, 800 in the investors' I&E market. And our senior bros here, Soso Soverekon, has already explained a little bit of the round tripping that goes on. So that has been stopped. So anybody that wants to source for dollars will go to the I&E market and go and source for it. And that is why now our Naira cards are beginning to work, where people can spend dollar and all of that. So banks are now allowing and all of that. And if you want to send money from abroad, you can send it directly to a bank account in Nigeria and you see it at the I&E investor rate. So back to the conversation, we import gas, petroleum products. And typically, a liter of gasoline should be selling at about $1.10, or let me even just round it off and say $1. So anytime you see $1, what is the price of $1 in naira? That is the true cost of gasoline per the template, per the calculation. Sir, there is nobody regulating the price anymore. It is the marketers, the oil marketers.
They have PPMC, they have
No. It doesn't exist anymore, sir. It is called the NMDPRA. So NMDPRA was a culmination of the DPR, Department of Petroleum Resources, the PPPPRA, that is the Petroleum Price Regulatory Authority.
Yeah.
And then there's another Petroleum PEDF, Petroleum Equalization Fund, PEF. So they merged the three of them together. Now it's now the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Agency Authority. That is the new body. So it encapsulates they do a lot of things. But what I'm saying that now it is the law of demand and supply. And also breaking news, if you think that when the Dangote refinery comes on board, and also the refinery that Rabiu is building in Akwa Ibom comes on board, that prices will go down. Not true. Barrel of crude oil is sold in dollars. It's not sold in naira. It's only reduced by 10%. Remove 10% of what we are paying today. That is what we'll be paying, say, a Dangote refinery or a Rabiu refinery. That's Boa refinery in Akwa Ibom comes on board. So it is very painful. Nigerians are so used. You see, Daddy Freeze, this thing is Stockholm syndrome that is happening to us in Nigeria, because we are so used to authoritarian government and autocratic government that we think that one person will just say this is the price and everybody just goes by it. We are not used to law of demand and supply. Like, for example, the dollars is going up today. Why is the dollar really going up? People need to realize that this is the summer. People will travel. There's going to be pressure to go and change naira to dollar or dollar to naira. People are also saving money to go back to school. People are going to go back to school in August, September. They are going to need Forex. And that if you rightfully pointed it out, what are we selling in goods and services in Nigeria to earn dollars, to earn Forex? Because the only way you get Forex into a nation is either through foreign direct investments, FDIs, foreign portfolio investment, through grants, through diaspora remittances, and through imports. So the question here is, what are we really selling in goods and services outside of Nigeria to get dollar? 80% of our Forex comes from the sale of crude oil. Now, Daddy Freeze, today, we are carrying our ship up and down looking for who to sell crude oil to, because Russia is selling cheap crude oil to India. India is one of our biggest buyers of our crude oil, but we don't even have buyers for our crude oil anymore. We're carrying it up and down. So, we talk about diversification of the economy. It is not easy. Rome was not built in a day. Soverekon said something today, sir. He said that these policies that they are putting in place today, it will take time before it manifests. If today Nigerians stop importing Gary, you know we import Gary into Nigeria, Daddy Freeze, if you don't know. We import Gary. Yes, we will send the cassava to China. They will go and mill it there and send it back here. Were we not here in Nigeria when we imported? Were we not here in Nigeria when they seized Efo Elegusi soup at the ports? Did you remember that time? I think it was coming from India or from China. We that we import toothpick, we that we import slippers. What don't we import in Nigeria? Do you know in was it like in 2019 or 2020, we spent over $200 million on the importation of what's it called, champagne and liquor.
Bongoli,
yes, sir.
Sorry to cut you short. What can the government do for us? Is a question.
Okay, right now, let me
finish the question so that I can just make it. The common Nigerian, the common man,
is
most of
suffering.
Most of the things you're explaining now, I understand. As I said before, I understand everything you're saying.
Yes, sir.
But what is the government? What do you advise the government to do to ease all this pressure from the for the common man, common people. You understand? Like people
Yes,
like
sir.
me and you, we carry burden for head. When I mean burden, we get family members. We have people that we're supporting, a lot of people. So what do you advise the government, policies, and policies? Not like me, I'm not in support. Like I'm not in support of borrowing money to give 5,000 per family or whatever. I forgot the amount they want to give families money.
Okay.
I'm not in support of that. What do you advise?
Well,
Your advice. You understand?
Well, I'll speak from the side of the government and what they are putting in place. And firstly, I think that 8,000 naira for 12 million people, firstly, it's not coming from borrowed money. It's coming from the 2022 appropriations budget, where there was an 819 billion naira left in there. And the Ashwaju administration from the executive said, you know what, we'll use 500 billion naira to give 8,000 naira each to 12 million households.
Sorry,
and I think
sorry to put you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Bongoli, but it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm so sorry about
I
this.
don't want
No, DF. I was just trying to clarify. I was trying to clarify. I was trying to clarify that if you are complaining about the 8,000 naira, then you don't need it. You don't need the 8,000 naira.
But those who need it,
you are not in their shoes. That is freeze. You're not in their shoes. How would you know? Not in their shoes.
I don't want Bongoli. I don't want us to argue. I want us to have conversation.
Okay.
Let's talk.
Okay.
Because as I said earlier, most of the policies are like,
hold on, please.
And also, can the Senate please be a little bit more sympathetic towards the needs of the people? Why are they renovating with 70 billion? Why are they buying armored cars now? You see, these are the things that they can do to cushion, so that these people will not feel that they are the ones carrying the whole load. Let me tell you, you get the way people go just feel, say they don't cheat them. They're not going to even see the good. You know, I understood the fuel subsidy from the beginning, Soso, because where they want pay out from. But I understand. The dollar, I didn't fully understand it. But Soso has explained it to me now. That dollar was a problem. Some people were using it to become billionaires. And now they've killed that business. What they will do is they will go and get the dollars.
No, I want Bongoli to advise.
Before I even talk my own. If you are watching on TikTok, double click my screen. Double click my screen. I'm looking for my number 1 and my number 2 gifter on TikTok. Where's my money gone?
During the campaign season, if people really listen to me very well, I said that whoever becomes president is going to face very serious challenges. And we are seeing the challenges today. Nigeria was already spending 96% of its revenue on servicing debt alone. How much then is left for infrastructure? So I would say that the government right now, they are doing the best that they can because you have short term, you have mid-term, and you have long term. Now, for the short term, they talk about this palliative and 8,000 naira for 6 months, and all of that is 500 billion. Yes, that money may seem small. That money is not even enough to pay for about the 130 million Nigerians that are in multidimensional poverty. However, we cannot keep borrowing in Nigeria. And also, we are saying that we don't want them to increase taxes or expand it. So where will the money come from? Nigeria is a poor nation today. So these are part of the austerity measures that are being put in place, and see where we are as a people. So you said something about what's it called, the exchange rate. The exchange rate itself has already increased a lot of things because we are an import-dependent nation. We are not a production-dependent nation. That is very hard and very tough.
Sorry
That,
to
in
cut.
fact,
Sorry to cut you, so that I won't forget. Sorry to cut
yes,
you.
sir.
What is the plan for this administration against that? Is the question.
Which one? Plan against what, sir?
Importation dependent.
Oh, absolutely. There are 5 points. 5 points. The first one is on security. And when you look at the security, you've seen the rejig of the security forces, that is through their leaders, from the police to the army to the navy, and to rejig the system. More money is going to be pumped into that system. I think next week, the vice president is going to come up. We're going to be publishing the security framework agenda for the nation moving forward. You will see that in the police, for example, they're going to have about 40,000 specially trained police officers, special ops. So firstly, it is tackling security. Secondly, it is the infrastructure. There is a national infrastructural plan and there's a national industrial plan in place. And these are things, there's like a template that will be worked on, such that in the north, we look at the textile industry in the north and see how we can improve on that. In the central part of Nigeria, we'll look at the raw materials there. In the southwestern part of Nigeria, we look at glass and the sand there. And in the southeastern part of Nigeria and south part of Nigeria, that will be the industrial hub of the country. The third one is taxation. Now, if you look at taxation, for example, taxation is is not necessarily increasing taxes, but expanding it. There has been lots and lots of leakages when it comes to our revenue generation through taxes. In fact, Nigeria ranks as one of the lowest countries in the world when it comes to revenue generation from taxes. So the government is saying, we are going to
pause you again.
FIRS.
Hold on, let me pause you again. Sorry. How do you want to tax the people when there is hungry in the land?
No,
is that
we are not taxing, sir. We are not taxing. We are not. No, I'm saying that we are going to remove multiple taxation.
Okay, remove.
Yes, and I said tax is going to be expanded, not increased.
Okay.
It's going to be expanded and not increased. And I was just telling you that Nigeria ranks one of the lowest countries in the world when we talk about taxation, when you are talking about revenue generated from taxes. And I'm saying that we are going to take off that multiple taxation. So you just pay one single tax. It depends, maybe VAT,
Bogoli,
maybe corporate
taxes,
or whatever the case may be.
Let me pause you. Somebody wrote here that, somebody wrote here that is that Bongoli is the president of Nigeria. He does not understand why you're saying these policies because you're not the president of Nigeria. So can you explain to them? You understand? I don't know if you understand the question.
But I don't see. So me, I know they read comments. They don't put it in the
we talk like because
it wasn't a bad comment.
I don't read bad comment. It's something that will expatiate what you're saying. Because what you're saying, you're making points. Like you're like a the way you're talking, you're talking with like a lot of facts. Like a spokesperson of this administration. I don't know if you understand. So that's why I brought your attention to that.
I'm sorry, apologies. Maybe I didn't interpret it very well, but I do just want to lose my chain of thought.
No,
because I have 8 more minutes.
Okay.
So let me just finish my chain of thought.
What I'm saying is I want us to be very productive with this conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So when we talk about the taxation, it is removing multiple taxes. We pay a lot of multiple taxes in Nigeria. And when we pay these taxes, it goes through leakages. And as such, they are going to merge FIRS, Federal Inland Revenue Services. They're going to merge it with Customs. And they're going to merge it with NIMASA. And some other one or two agencies, like agencies that actually generate money, customs, NIMASA, and all these agencies that generate a lot of money, and merge it with FIRS. So these monies are going to go in directly because we don't have money in Nigeria.
Another question. Do any of these bodies, do they generate forex? Do they generate dollars?
Oh, absolutely. I would say, is it customs? Because customs, I think they use the dollar rate for their charges. So I wouldn't say they generate forex, because like I said, we generate forex from exports. What we export, we generate forex from foreign direct investments when people come in and invest in the nation, from foreign portfolio investments when people come and buy our stocks and our bonds, from diaspora remittances, the $1 or $2 that I send to Nigeria, and also from grants. IMF or World Bank or UNICEF can say, oh, we want to give Nigeria $1 million. So that's how, those are the 5 major ways that forex comes into the country. So we're talking about revenue generation here. So we're going to eliminate multiple taxation. Then we're going to look at policies. Now we are looking at policies. With these policies that is affecting us today now, negatively for now, but moving forward, hopefully things turn around and things will look better, because this punishment and these pains we are going through right now is for tomorrow, betterment of tomorrow. So look at these policies that we've talked about, for example, the subsidy policy, the forex policy, and all of that. Then last but not least, regulations. Our industries, our institutions are going to be very well regulated. These things take time. We need to also acknowledge the fact that there has been serious rot in the Nigerian system since 1960. And somebody's not just going to wake up one morning and clean the whole mess up.
What about power?
Gradual.
What is the plan for the power sector?
Oh, now when it comes
Thank
to
you
power,
very much.
there's a grave, I have 4 more minutes. But when it comes to electricity, there is a grave misconception, because electricity is majorly privately run. The only thing that government has or does is the transmission. The generation, we have about 6 companies, 6 GENCOs, and we have about 11 DISCOs. The DISCOs and the GENCOs are majorly, like almost 90% to 100, between 90 and 100% privately owned. The only thing that government owns is the transmission, all those transmission. So a lot of investment has to go into that, because
by the private sector or from the government?
Yes, by the private sector, because the federal government of Nigeria, since the failed privatization of the PDP, I'm sorry to say this, because they put us in this mess, we have been subsidizing to the tunes of trillions of naira annually for this our electricity, because Nigeria pays very cheap electricity compared to the world. Now, I'm not talking of the quality of the electricity. I'm just saying this is the amount that you are paying per kilowatt hour. Nigeria pays low compared to the rest of the world. And about only 65 to 67% of Nigerians pay their NEPA bill, their electricity bill. So where would these private people get money to invest into the business? Davido's father, Davido's daddy, Tony Edumelu, all of them, they own Otedola, they own these businesses. They are in the GENCOs and DISCO businesses. They are all there. It's privately run. It's public information. So we need to understand where these issues are coming from. These people, they are saying that, do you know, there's what they call MYTO, multi-year tariff order. Every 6 months, they are supposed to review our electricity bills, our electricity charges. In fact, they were supposed to increase it because they will say dollar has increased. The value of dollar has increased. All these things have increased because natural gas is a commodity that is sold in the international price, with international pricing. 1 MMBTU of natural gas today is being sold for $2.50 something cents. That's how much it is today. And with the price of dollar that has gone up in Nigeria by 60 something percent, because we use about 80% of our electricity is produced with gas, natural gas, the gas-driven turbines, and not the hydro turbines. So gas pricing itself contributes to about 40 to 50% of the generation. So that is going to trickle down. And then the gencos, the discos are going to come with their own palaver. So it's that electricity thing, and we can sit down and talk about it from now till next year. And I will explain as to what the issues are and what can be done. The Buhari administration has started this presidential partnership thing with Siemens. That is ongoing to keep on investing in the transmission infrastructure. So we on electricity itself, if they can fix electricity, both the private and public sector working hand in hand seriously, and the Nigerians paying their NEPA bill. Nigerians know they pay NEPA bill. We know they pay NEPA bill.
And complain for hunger. They are part of the problem.
So and even said about 33% of Nigerians don't even have access to electricity. So investing in Nigeria's electricity business was a bad deal. Was a deal really gone bad?
Now,
so it's going to take a lot of investments to fix it.
Lynette says 8 years of sorrow. My dear Lynette, I need you to do me a favor. Any school you have ever attended in your life, go there. Collect back your money. They defrauded you. From kindergarten to primary to secondary to where you are. I beg you in God's name, go and collect your money back. You need to understand that if government is not the one producing electricity, how is it the government's fault that you don't have light? Government is just distributing. It is people like Davido's father, people like Kotedola Elumelu that are controlling the power sector. How do you blame the government in that? Secondly, we have explained that it is not Tinubu's fault that there's no subsidy for fuel. Buhari handed over a government with not 1 naira allocated towards subsidy budgets. Where do you expect Tinubu to subsidize the fuel from? He should sell his mother's car.
DF, I'm sorry.
Wait,
I have a meeting. I have a meeting at 2:30.
Because people were running down the economy, going through the back door to go and get dollars from the banks at the government approved rate and coming to sell it in the black market at the black market rate, making tremendous profits. That has been cut off. It's very harsh, but I don't see how you will blame this government for that. Sometimes in life, you need to actually sit down. That's why Soso is here. That's why Bomboli is here. If you have any question, ask questions. State a fact. Don't just come and say, we are going to suffer. 8 years of suffering. You don't sound educated. That's the problem. Come and make a point. I love to hear points. There were points I also made that I did not even know before. I said, oh, wow, this makes sense. But you see, my problem with you people is you will just come and drop a sentimental quote. Listen, everybody in Nigeria, if you are not poor, you will have poor dependents that are going to depend on you more. Taste Buds is getting her culinary academy ready.
DF, I'm sorry, I have to go now. DF, later in the night. I'm sorry, DF, I'm sorry. Later in the night, sir.
You just have to clear that one.
And later in the night, sir, Femi, I want Femi to be Femi. If you can get Femi, my PDP enemy, I want him. If you can get him, sir.
Bell says, why did
please,
they not take dollar at the government?
Soso, God bless you, sir. Yeah. It was nice speaking with you, sir. Soso, we'll take another time.
Elegant Bell has asked a question. Soso, let me answer it, then you can now throw. Because the government approved rate was unnatural. It was subsidized. You cannot force the black market to sell at government rates. The only thing the government can do is join the black market and sell at the black market rates. You can't tell somebody me that I have my water. You cannot tell me what I will sell, the price I will sell the water. So it is impossible, and it's not even the dollar is not worth 400 naira or 400 and something naira. The dollar is actually worth about 700 naira. So you can't force it. Now, if you bring it down and force everybody to sell that, you will now see that some people are still going to sell at that. Now it is competitive. At the bank, at the black market, they are all selling the same rates. It's hard. You see, this is what you call growing pains. If this nation is going to grow, if it's going to thrive, we are going to go through pains like this. It's just that it's very uncomfortable. It is very, very uncomfortable. Listen to this one that doesn't have sense. He says, I don't understand why you brought somebody abroad to address the conversation. You that you are living in Nigeria, how much sense do you have? The person living abroad is dropping facts. You that you are in Nigeria, you are complaining, you are moaning, you are groaning. Before today, did you know that it was not the government that was supplying electricity? When are you going to out? You are not a now. Then they put feeding bottle for your mouth. You will talk like small Peking. Contribute to the conversation with facts. Come here and give us statistics. Give us facts. You are all dropping emotion. The nation is hard, though. Is anybody arguing with you? Did anybody here say the nation is not hard? Over to you.
As I said, the policies Tinubu started with, I liked it, and I was really impressed by his policies. But my own advice for him, if according to what they said, that Nigeria is broke, do you know that the money stolen by some set of individuals in this country, if they arrest them without fear or favor, if they hold them by the throat,
100%, Soso. 100%.
Nigeria might be
I'm with you on that.
Do you know that people who took loans? I want to ask a question. What is the beneficial loan, billions of dollars, the former Minister of Transportation took to do railway? How does that add to the country? They took loan, billions from China that were yet to pay back. According to something I saw in the news, I don't know how true it is. If they say Chinese people have police station now in Nigeria, I don't know how it is, whether it's true, but I saw it in the news. How did this money add to us as Nigeria? That one is one. Would it railway to Niger Republic, or is it Chad or something? How does that help Nigeria? That needs to be investigated. There are lots of thieves, if they can go back from democracy days, 1999 till date, Nigeria will be back on their feet. Dollar will go back to 15 naira to $1. People now hold our money. Now people sit down on top of our money. And we are still worshiping these same people with our money. How can a minister come and tell us, after spending billions, that we have aeroplane, our own airline, and he openly scammed us, brought Ethiopia Airline, and that guy is still working freely? How? Why?
How?
You can't scam the whole country, carry paint another person plane. Can't tell us, say, Nigeria Airline, a few days to leave power. That man is still working free. There's a lot of things. It's not about importation, exportation, one or the other. I know, but corruption needs to be crushed. People need to answer for their crime. People need to answer questions. And most of these monies are not abroad. Most of those monies are still in Nigeria.